that exists in all of us. Now, here's your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant.
The Aquarian Age. Okay, I hope you guys heard that. The music was pretty loud. Okay, today we are going to be talking about sacred sites later on in the show after we deliver Kim Michael's message from the Ascended Masters. We will have Peter Mount Shasta calling in. We'll be talking about sacred sites because actually we've got Jose, are you on the line? Hello?
I am.
Okay, Jose, welcome. I know coming up pretty soon, you're going to be at Mount Shasta doing a sacred ceremony. Is that correct?
That is correct. Everyone is welcome on Sunday, this coming Sunday around 7 p.m. at the base of the mountain.
Wonderful. So, Jose, would you give us a little more information about what the ceremony is about and what you're going to be doing there and who all will be joining you?
Yes. Well, first of all, today's energy is the Akbal 12, which means in the practical realm is a very good day to learn.
Okay.
And a very good learn to pray for our house. Whatever we call our home now.
Okay.
This is the best day to do that.
All right.
And regarding the ceremony of Mount Shasta, I am the guardian of a crystal skull that is called Kamisimi, the skull of manifestation.
Okay.
So once in a while, people from around the world, they decide they come in and honor that at Mount Shasta. So we have what we call manifestations fire ceremonies in Mount Shasta.
Okay.
So there is a group of about 18 to 20 brothers and sisters from around the world that are coming to do that precisely and pray and be in gratitude for what they need, for what they must have to continue their mission in this planet. So that is what we're doing Sunday at 7.
Okay, and so that's at the base of Mount Shasta this coming Sunday. So now, would you also talk to the audience about the significance of sacred sites? I know that you travel around the world doing ceremonies there, and people probably are not in any kind of awareness necessarily of the significance of sacred sites. So could you give a little background information?
Yes, the sacred sites around the world are part of a grid of ancient airports where we used to communicate with intergalactic planets.
Okay.
More recently, for the last 100,000 years, people have come to these sites to still communicate with other realms, and that is what we call the crystalline grid.
Okay.
Which a lot of us have been walking the path and activating, bringing the prayers to those sites. Some of these sites are well known, and some others have been kept in secret, or for some reason or another, people don't go to those sites. But they're all part of our crystalline grid, a matrix of airports, if you will, where we can communicate with different realms.
Okay, that's a much broader perspective about it than I think most people are aware of. So what are some of the, well, actually, let me ask you first, who are some of the other people that are going to be joining you from around the world? Are they from other tribes, like maybe the Hopis or Tibetans or any people in particular?
Yes, for a lot of reasons, we usually we don't talk about who's coming.
Okay.
Because a lot of these brothers and sisters, they still remain in the anonymous path.
Okay, all right.
For a lot of different reasons.
Okay.
So, but I can tell you that there's people coming from Argentina,
okay,
from Colombia, from Guatemala and Mexico, and of course from the U.S. too.
All right, wonderful. All right, so that's a great broad spectrum of people that are going to be there, and they're setting intentions to manifest. Now, hopefully, what I'd like to send my intention out there to manifest better conditions and less interference in our weather patterns, and actually cessation of the weather modification programs that governments around the world are doing that are creating adverse weather conditions. So that's my intention that I'm setting out there, putting out on the airwaves to manifest. So I'm hoping other people will join me in their awareness of the fact that the weather patterns that we have are not natural, that they're interference patterns.
Yes, and I'd like to say that all the ceremonies that we do, they are for the planet.
Okay.
And yes, we do ask for what we need and what we must have to complete our missions, but the main purpose of getting together is to have a interplanetary grid of brothers and sisters praying for the same issues, which today, in Sunday's case, will be the waters and we're more gentle. We're scheduled to have a massive winter coming all around the world, especially here on the East Coast of the United States. But we are praying for waters, for the balance of the waters to be balanced around the world. Yes. But also, every time we do this, there is others doing the same ceremonies and many other sacred sites around the world in synchronicity, doing it together in unity.
So, Jose, please don't hang up, because I got some requests last week for you to do a quick little reading. I have a couple of birthdays, if you wouldn't mind. But let me bring Nandi G on to give us a bit of wisdom on how we can master our consciousness, and then I'll come back to you to do a reading, if that would be okay with you, Jose.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we've been talking to Jose Munoz, who is the timekeeper for the new Mayan calendar for the Aquarian age. And Jose, would you please tell people how they can contact you to get a personal reading based on the new astrology for the Mayan calendar?
Yes, it's Unity, Love, Peace, 33@gmail.com.
Okay.
For readings, for classes, and anything else we can be of service.
Wonderful. And so Jose is we'll be back. Nandi G, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Nandi, welcome, and thank you for becoming a regular part of the Divine Love Talk family every week, giving people helpful information on how they can master their consciousness. So what would you like to share with us today?
Grateful, Divine Parthenia. Today's reading that I picked at random was Consciousness Sutra number 20, which is the states of Turiya. And this Consciousness Sutra goes as mentioning, when work and responsibilities weigh heavy with the mind bogged, burst the bubble of time and realities to accomplish superhuman tasks through Turiya. Climb above the mind's rooftop to then compress and expand time from the peak's vision to map reality desired into manifestations. In states of Turiya, we converge the spirit's inspiration and knowing with our innate talent, desire, and passion. In Turiya, Siva be the prophet. Om Namah Shivaya.
So, be the prophet.
Yes.
All right. Nandi G, do you have any noise in the background, a television or anything on?
No.
Okay.
No. But let me just make sure that I correctly...
Yeah, I was hearing some interference. I want people
I just made sure the windows are all closed, yeah.
Okay. We were hearing some interference there. So, Nandi G, thank you so much for sharing that. It fits in very nicely with the Mayan calendar for today. the glyph for today in terms of gaining higher understanding. Was that correct, Jose?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Okay, so I wanted to see if you had any feedback on the hint that we have for today for Mastery of Consciousness.
I apologize. I completely missed that.
You couldn't. I'm sorry, you couldn't hear him. That's right. We're not on. We're actually not on conference with him. Okay, so I apologize for that. All right, so Jose, let me give you a birth date. If you could look this up, it's May 28th, 1977, and the person's name is Salim. May 28th, 1977. So we have Don Jose on the line, and he's getting ready to do a quick reading.
May 28, 1977.
Yes.
Okay. What was the name of the person?
Salim, Salim.
Okay, Salim, congratulations. You're in luck. You're in luck until 2032. This should be the best years of your life. We have here that you are the strongest of the sacred fires. And what that means in particular in this practical world is that you as the sacred fire have the right to burn everything and start new again. Anytime you like, anytime you want, and anytime you must have. This is your job to burn the entire forest so it can start new, green, and more beautiful.
Okay, so it's the sacred fire. And what was that you said about the next years? Was it this year?
The periods of, there's 20-year periods that we have in the calendars, and the period that started in 2012, December 22nd. It will end in December 21st of 2032.
Okay.
And that is the period of the highly unstable winds, which, of course, fuel the strongest fire. So this period is a very good period for someone like Celine, who is the sacred fire at the strongest consciousness.
Oh, okay. So during this time period, he can actually create new ideas, or how could that be used for entering into the Aquarian age?
Yes, that's what I was saying. In the practical world, she has earned the right to be what we call a forest burner. In other words, to erase everything that we know of her, burn the entire forest, and start a complete new to make it greener, more beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nandi G. How much time do we have? Oh, okay. We're getting ready to go into commercial break. But Jose, would you please hold on? Coming up is going to be Kim Michael's message from the Ascended Masters. And then, Jose, I'd like, if it's okay with you, for you to do one more reading. We got a request from last week before you leave us today. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back with more information on sacred sites with Peter Mount Shasta coming up. And we're going to have more from Don Jose. You're listening to Divine Love Talk. I am your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. Check us out on Facebook. Like us at Divine Love Talk. And we'll be back in a minute.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Good afternoon, Mr. Phelps. Southern California is inundated with restaurants vying to vanquish Columbo's, and none have succeeded. Your mission, Jim, is to further enlighten the populace regarding Columbo's and their absolutely delicious steaks. Seafood so fresh it'll make you blush. Family Italian specialties that put the competition to shame. Jazz every night along with their world-renowned meatballs. The code words for this assignment, Mission Impossible. As always, should you or any of the force be caught, the Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions, but looks forward to seeing you at that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you, Columbo's. This disc will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim, and manja.
Do you owe the IRS money? Do you have years of unfiled returns? Has the IRS garnished your wages or put a lien against your house? The IRS has the power to make you pay back what they claim you owe and will stop at nothing to collect. If you are losing sleep over your IRS tax problem, there is a solution. Call Signature Tax now. Speak with our professionals and feel the weight of your tax burden lifted from your shoulders. Call 800-543-1427 for your free and confidential analysis on ending your tax nightmare. We can help get your life back on track and give you the fresh start you deserve. Our A-plus BBB rated tax resolution team has over 125 years of combined experience to get you the best deal possible while stopping the IRS dead in their tracks. Call Signature Tax now at 800-543-1427. Call 800-543-1427. Again, that's 800-543-1427. 800-543-1427.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a non-profit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
With more of Divine Love Talk on CRN, and coming up right now is Kim Michaels with his message for the week from the Ascended Masters. Okay.
Ascended Master Mother Mary, I have said in a previous release that the biggest problem on earth is that men and women cannot receive love from a source inside themselves, and therefore believe they have to receive it from each other. And when they do not receive it, they go into various control games in order to supposedly force others to give them love. But you see, my beloved, love cannot be forced. There is no mechanical scheme on earth that can force another person or God to give you love. Why is this so? Because love is a force that is beyond anything on earth. That is why all people want it. Do you not see that most people on earth are completely overwhelmed by life? Many feel that life is something that has been forced upon them, that they did not choose, that they are forced to react to circumstances over which they have no control. But you see, nothing has been forced upon you in the sense that at some point in the past, you chose to be on this planet. You made choices, many choices, that have put you in your current situation. I am not saying this to blame you, but to empower you, because only when you begin to acknowledge that your situation has something to do with choices you made, will you be able to start making a new kind of choice that will change your situation. Do you not see, my beloved? Most people are in a catch-22 because they believe their situation is not the result of their own choices, and therefore they feel powerless to do something about it. But the only way that you can do something about your situation is if you can make choices that change your situation. And that is why the shift you need to make is to acknowledge that your situation does have something to do with choices you have made, and that any choice you have made in the past can be changed by making a better choice in the present. This has something to do with love, because as I said, there is no force on earth that can control love, and the reason for this is that love is always flowing. Love never stands still. That is why you cannot own love, and that is why you cannot own other people, and you cannot force other people to give you love. Love cannot be forced, but it can be received freely when you begin to realize that it comes from a source that is beyond earth, and you cannot control this source, but this source gives love to you unconditionally, and you can control your own psychology and the mechanism that has so far caused you to reject love. And when you begin to unravel that mechanism and bit by bit remove the illusions that cause you to reject love, then you will begin to feel that life is not so overwhelming, that life is not forced upon you. And when you then begin to use the many tools I have given in the form of invocations and decrees whereby you invoke spiritual light, then you will lighten the load of energy you are carrying with you. And this will begin to make you feel that you are a being who is not identified with the body and with your outer situation. And that is when you will begin to not only believe what I am saying, but experience that you do have choices, and that there are choices you can make that will fundamentally change your outer situation.
Thank you, Kim Michaels and Mother Mary. Jose, you're still on the line, right?
I am.
Okay, wonderful. So right after commercial break, we're going to bring Jose back to do another reading, and we'll talk a little bit with Jose and Peter Mount Shasta. He has a situation where he's using solar energy and he's off the grid, so we're not sure if we're going to be able to get reception for him to be able to call in for the show, but we will have Don Jose. We'll see you in a few seconds.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now.
800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. That number again is 800-515-6309.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Andro 400, I really love it. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. It feels like I'm 25. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man.
Guys, if you'd like to see results like Dave Ryan's, try Andro 400, the safe, inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Called the Oprah of radio by her listeners. Award-winning host Dr. Pat Baccili is blowing the doors off of traditional talk radio. Get ready for an energizing delivery and powerful interviews with leaders in the field of human potential. Dr. Pat's fresh, new perspective on living life full out has catapulted her show to the top of talk radio. Tune in and Dr. Pat will help you thrive instead of merely survive. Visit thedrpatshow.com.
Listen to Dr. Pat, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on CRN.
Well, okay, we did get Peter Mount Shasta on the line, and we also have Jose Mirabel. If you could start looking this up, her birthday is February 28th, 1991. She called in last week, and we weren't able to get to her. We also have Peter Mount Shasta on the line. Peter, are you there?
I'm here.
Wonderful. I was worried. I wasn't sure.
Coming to you from near Woodstock. No.
So you're
solar power.
Okay, you're on solar power in New York near Woodstock. Is that what you said?
That's it.
Wonderful. So, Peter, we've been talking about sacred sites, and I want to introduce you to Don Jose. He is the timekeeper for the new Mayan calendar, and he's doing a sacred ceremony this weekend at Mount Shasta. And, of course, I thought it was very appropriate to have you on, being Peter Mount Shasta.
I wish I could be a part of it. I'll be there in spirit.
Oh, absolutely. So, Peter, if you would hold on for a second, let's let Jose do the reading for Mirabel. She's holding on anxiously, Don Jose, wanting to know what the new Mayan calendar has to say about her birthday.
I wanted to make sure. You did say Peter Mount Shasta, right?
Yes, that's his name.
Right. Sacrednicity, brother. And the birthday was February 28th, 1991?
Yes, Mirabel.
Mirabel. Okay. So, Mirabel,
okay.
I want her to understand, first of all, how powerful her authority is. she really needs to exercise that, starting yesterday, immediately. It is important that we all do what we came to do in this planet, and unfortunately that we don't have that. We lost those teachings in the Western world, with astrology being taken in a different pattern. But today that we have these tools now, we need to spread this knowledge as quickly as possible. We need to know what we came to do, and in Maribel's case, it is to exercise her authority with authority.
With authority.
She needs to do what it takes to get her projects accomplished. Of course, making free will choices, as the Ascended Masters remind us how when we make the right choices, life starts flowing. We can practice unconditional love. And, of course, once we have that, we radiate love. We walk into any place with radiant love. And this is Maribel's job.
Wonderful.
Exercise authority with love.
Okay, we were just talking about that earlier. I was talking to the engineer here about how we as Americans have given our authority over to, the government and Congress, and, we need to realize that we actually have the authority to say no to a lot of the things that are going on in the world. So, Peter Mount Shasta, I see that Don Jose was blown away by your name. Yeah. So would you fill him in a little bit? Because you have a very sacred relationship with the mountain. You've written books about it. One of your books that I read, it talks about your whole journey and connection with Saint Germain on the mountain. I forgot the name of that book. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, Adventures of a Western Mystic. That's probably the one. Search for,
that was a wonderful book.
Thank you.
So I thought that the two of you should kind of get to know each other over the airwaves. I also have a very sacred relationship with the mountain. So could you just give the audience a little bit of about your connection with Mount Shasta and Saint Germain, being that he is the leader of the new age of Aquarius, and you clearly have a very wonderful relationship with him.
Sure, I'd be happy. I was with Ramdas and Neem Karoli Baba in Himalayas in 71. And then when I came back to the West, I really didn't know what to do. I had lived with a yogi for a while that could leave his body consciously, and I thought, well, there's no reason to live in the world of Maya anymore. I think I'll leave my body. And I was out in Muir Woods near San Francisco, and Saint Germain materialized in front of me in a physical body. Just not an astral body or anything. It was looked like flesh and blood to me.
Yeah, they have the ability to do that. I had that experience.
He just looked like a regular guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Except he knew all about me. And to make, I tell the whole story in my book, but to make a long story short, he told me to go to Mount Shasta, and that the first person I met there would tell me what to do next. And that turned out to be this Lady Pearl, and I just wrote a book about her called Lady Master Pearl. And she said, you've been sent here by the Master Saint Germain, and she taught the I Am about the I Am teachings about God within you and how to contact the Ascended Masters. And I realized that Mount Shasta was a focal point for these great beings, not only the Native American masters, but the Theosophical masters and even the ETs, And at different times, my inner sight has been opened, and I've seen these temples on the mountain. And I know many people who have been taken there out of the body while they're asleep, go into these temples and be trained by the masters, but other people are called to go there physically. So it's a very sacred place, and it's great if you're called to make a pilgrimage there and be open to what the masters have to teach you. So that's just a little bit. I never wanted to change my name. I had a lot of friends in India that took Hindu names. And I was camped on the mountain, and, I'd been fasting for about a week, and I woke up one morning. The sun hadn't come up yet, but it was getting light, and I heard someone talking to me, and I looked around. I couldn't see anybody, but this person knew all about me, and he said, one thing is, I want you to use the name of the mountain as the name, and I said, no way, I'm not going to do that. And he said, well, you will, and I said, no, I won't, and he said, we shall see. And then he told me, everyone's praying. They want the masters to tell them what the next year is going to bring them. Well, this is one time he did, and I didn't like anything he said. He said, you're going back to India, and I'd almost died there, wandering around barefoot 6 months, and I didn't want to go back. And he said, you're going back, and then he said, you're going to sell your farm in upstate New York. You're going to move to Mount Shasta. And at that time, Mount Shasta was a logging community. And
right.
If you had long hair, you looked a little bit different. People would stare at you, and it was not a comfortable place to be then if you were a little bit different. And he said a number of things. I didn't like anything he said, but he was right about all of them.
Peter, what that's reminding me of is, remember when Moses was told, to lead the people? He had every kind of excuse. Take Aaron. I'm not an orator. I don't speak. And we all think that, wow, if an ascended master or God or someone, appeared to me, I would have enough sense, to say yes.
Right.
But I've had those mystical experiences as well, where I was told that I needed to do something, and I literally just cried and said, no, I really don't want to do that.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Jose, I don't know if you've had that kind of experience or not, because you were born knowing what you were supposed to do. How do you relate to that?
Well, first of all, I want to be grateful and thank for our brother Peter Shasta for all the service that he has done for the last 66,000 years, traveling through space and time and choosing to still come back and stay here, helping us deliver this planet into peace. So thank you, brother, for everything you have done and will continue to do.
Thank you.
Of course, we all have had those moments where...
Oh, he can't hear you, Peter. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
We come to crossroads and we have to make that decision that looks so irrational to others, but it is the Creator's will. And of course, we still have the divine given right to choose, and that's why it is important that we all recognize ourselves to be grateful from the past, present, and future, that we have made the right choices to be here speaking about these beautiful subjects in a beautiful time.
Now, Peter, I know you were saying something, and we were getting crosstalk. So.
Oh no, I was just saying I was grateful to connect with Don Jose, because I understand he's doing very, very good work. You know, so bringing forth some of these ancient teachings, and it's very important to ground them, on the earth. And some of us in the New Age movement get too much off the earth, floating around,
That's for sure.
So we've got to bring them into the earth plane.
Well, I also, Peter, I wanted you to talk a little bit in your book. You cover this topic that Don Jose and Kim Michaels and I have talked about, on the show with a lot of people in the New Age movement, where I forgot the term that you used for it, but essentially where they just get to this point where they're in this gray area and they just deny the existence of, the darkness on the earth that actually needs light, to be, shine down upon it in order for it to be exposed and to evolve. And I love the fact that you touch on that in your book. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, that's it's called spiritual bypassing.
Yes.
And that's a term developed by John Wellwood, who was a student of Trungpa Rinpoche. And I think we've all been in spiritual communities or ashrams where you're aware that people have all kinds of eccentricities and neuroses, which they deny because, they say that the guru put me in charge of this or been appointed by the masters to do this, which, that may be, but they're also in denial of various human things that they have to work on.
Yeah. And you pointed out that they then behave like petty little tyrants, and I've certainly seen that in a lot of the movements. And Kim Michaels calls it, taking the beam out of your own eye. That with that spiritual bypass, they get blinded to their own issues and pretend that they have no ego anymore and they have nothing else to work on, and everybody else has a problem. But then there is no problem. So it's very bizarre.
See, a lot of these groups, Ascended Master groups, are doing very good work with the decrees and affirmations, but there's not much emphasis on looking at your own shortcomings.
Exactly.
And I remember when I was first married, in my first marriage, my wife and I would get into an argument, and I'd go in the other room and decree the argument out of existence, or so I thought, and use the violet consuming flame.
Right.
And then I would feel good, and I'd go back in the room, and the argument would continue right where it left off,
And that's an excellent point, Peter, that I think is so important to address, because even when you're dealing with people that are studying the law of attraction, there's this whole spiritual bypass in there about not dealing with the problem and just focusing on feeling good. And the problem never gets solved. So it's like, come on, can we just get down to earth and deal with the nitty gritty here? Because it's still there. The white elephant is still going to be in the room, even if you ignore it.
So these so-called negative emotions or confrontations are actually where the real teaching is.
Yes.
I mean, you learn more from your so-called enemies than from the friends that are praising you all the time.
Absolutely.
So when there's something uncomfortable happening, that's the time to pay attention and say, where is the cause of this? Is there anything in myself that's causing this?
Absolutely. Thank you
and
so much.
And maybe we need to learn communication tools, rather than to say, I'm right, you're wrong. If I want to hear your viewpoint, maybe if I understood where you're coming from, then we could, have peace between us.
Exactly. And that's
other things. Yeah. I mean, when you feel bad, somebody makes you feel bad, that just shows us an area where we don't love ourselves. So rather than do a whole bunch of decrees and say, I feel great, we say, wait a minute, I don't feel great. And why is that? Well, that's because that's bringing up some wound that I have maybe from childhood or a past life, and I need to heal that.
Exactly. And I don't think that we're going to get where we want to go in terms of consciousness as, human beings if we're not willing to look at that in our psychology, which is trying to be healed. Jose, I know you probably have something to add to that.
Yes, it is important. I was saying earlier that the energy of the day was the Akbao, and we need to be grateful for the house, and this is the beautiful aspect of the energy. And as we know, we are still in transitional worlds. We're not out of the darkness yet, therefore we have always have to address that. In my humble opinion, we always need to address that darkness, and first, once we accept it, then we can work on it and eventually come out of it. And
wonderful.
Be a sample.
Well, I agree. Jose and Peter Mount Shasta, please hold on. We're going to wrap this up after commercial break. You're listening to Peter Mount Shasta and to Don Jose. Peter, how can they get a hold of you? Quickly.
At IamTeachings.com or PeterMountShasta.com.
Wonderful.
All lowercase, one word.
Wonderful. Okay, so we'll be back with more of Don Jose and Peter Mount Shasta after commercial break.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool. Indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the tort attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
Okay, we're back wrapping this up on Divine Love Talk with Peter Mount Shasta and Don Jose, who will be doing a ceremony at the base of Mount Shasta this Sunday, a manifestation ceremony where we can all send our intentions to manifest. I want to manifest peace on earth and a cleansing of all of the pollution and the interference and the weather patterns on the planet right now by different governments in the world. So I'm sending, both of those intentions out there, Don Jose. And Don Jose, would you please let the audience know how they can contact you again for readings?
Unity, Love, Peace 33 at gmail.com.
Unity, Love, Peace at 33 at gmail.com.
We have readings and classes available soon, started in mid-October here.
Okay, that's right. I'm excited. I'm going to be participating in those classes. Now, Peter Mount Shasta, I see that you're back in upstate New York. So right. How long have you been away from the mountain, and do you feel any need now to continue to make pilgrimages there, or are you there in spirit?
Well, it will always be my spiritual home. I was there for 40 years.
Wow.
And then in the spring, I received a strong direction to go to New York. Someone offered me a beautiful place here on a hilltop off the grid. It's about an hour from Woodstock. So I've been giving teachings here in the New York area.
Okay.
And it's just there are wonderful people everywhere that are interested in contacting their own higher self and the ascended masters. So I'm helping with that wherever I get sent.
Yeah.
It's been time for me also to make a transition to kind of explore new ways of giving these teachings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people kind of get into a rut and think that this is the only truth.
Yeah.
And so I'm this time that I've been given is a way to experiment with ways to bring a deeper psychological insight into the spiritual teachings.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading your book about the Lady Master Pearl, and I agree with you 100%. If an individual's teachings aren't progressive, and if they're not constantly expanding their awareness, then it's time to move on to another teacher. So I'm so happy to hear that you really, grasp that and actually adhere to that in your own teachings. Peter.
Yeah, so what I see is, the I am is really the core of most spiritual teachings, but it's not the whole path,
Mm-hmm.
And I find that it actually Saint Germain took these teachings from some of the ancient teachings of the Far East,
Sure.
from India,
Mm-hmm.
Tibet, from China, Egypt, and so on.
Yeah.
And he gave the most important part, back in the 30s to God for Your Eight King.
Right.
But he didn't give it all, and
Of
people
course.
weren't really ready for
Yeah.
it back then. So now
Exactly.
it's time to bring it through in a broader spectrum.
And it looks like, Peter, he is doing that through you. Kim Michaels, who is
Sure.
a co-host on my show, he is also bringing teachings through Saint Germain and other Ascended Masters, and they're definitely progressive, and they all point out, the Ascended Masters, that you should never look at any teaching as absolute, because there's always more to learn. The universe is infinite, and so, there's no end to our learning. Peter, thank you so much for joining us. I definitely want to bring you back so we can talk about your book on the Master Pearl after I read it. And Don Jose, it's always a pleasure and an honor and a delight to have you show back up here every week and give insight to the audience on the new Mayan calendar. So join Don Jose, if you can, in spirit or in person at the base of the mountain this Sunday at Mount Shasta. And thank you all for joining us. I'm your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. Like us on Facebook at Divine Love Talk.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. And you can listen to us on nearly any platform and device. Download to your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry episodes of What's Cookin'. And take Master Sommelier Michael Jordan with you to the wine shop so he can help you pick out that perfect bottle of wine. Stream episodes of the Sonoma Wine Report through our CRN app, TuneIn Radio, Nobex, Stitcher, UTunes, or AHA Radio. And start planning that unforgettable weekend in the wine country. They're in your corner on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and many other apps. And of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com.